thing in action where, you know, I have these conversations with my creative partners, where like you're going to do a movie, you're going to do, you know, some fight stuff. And you're like, well, what are we doing kind of Hong Kong style where people hit each other 800 times in a fight? And it's and and they're still standing. Yeah. Or are we doing a slightly more realistic thing where someone who gets cracked in the face goes down? Because in real life, when you get hit in the face really hard, you're going to fall. Most people are going to fall down. I've only seen one or two people get punched and not, you know, really have a reaction to it in my life. And you know, my question is always like, well, I love Hong Kong style, all the chop socky type stuff. Does it make the fighters seem weak? Like if you're punching someone 100 times and they're not falling down, does that make you seem like you're not hitting them that hard? Does that, you know, how does that work with audiences now? Like, and you wonder what like the folks who did that kind of stylistic stuff back then, like if they were still doing stuff now, how would they adapt that or something? Like how would Jackie Chan be doing, you know, how is his style adapted, you know, in more recent years to
I would say Rush Hour. I think he was able to do it with Rush Hour a little bit, where it was more of like even when I interviewed the guy that Nick Powell about Bourne, he kind of did that with Jason Bourne.
Yeah,
because Matt Damon learned how to do a Japanese style, I believe. Oh man, I don't want to misquote it, but it was like a Japanese style. It was the very doo-doo, you know, kung fu, like
like Aikido maybe or something, or
it wasn't Aikido, but it was in that vibe.
I knew they mixed a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he adapted that, and he said he tried to make the fights adaptable to as a guy that knew every style.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The only thing he said that he didn't do in there that he would probably do now would be a little bit of jujitsu that he would throw, because it was more MMA before, you know, MMA was MMA.
I think it's been hard to work like BJJ into a lot of action movie stuff for people, except in small amounts. And I've only seen more recently like some of the John Wick films and stuff, because like, I mean, a lot of BJJ, you end up with two guys on the floor together, like intertwined, and by nature that's not totally cinematic, right? I mean, you more want to see people standing up and exchanging stuff. So once you're down in like some things, but I think what I see when I've seen it done well is like when a fight starts as kind of fisticuffs and then works its way down, and then John Wick's like, you know, on the ground and he's got the leg, you know, like a figure 4 leg lock on the guy, and then that's when he is breaking stuff or shooting him point blank in the face.
And he snaps. Then you
know what recent series I really like. I like the Wick films. I think it was a great idea, and now we're on chapter 4, and it's like a lot of the same kind of things, which have been some great names and some great fights. But those Extraction films on Netflix with Chris Hemsworth are like where they do the super like 15-minute long takes, which aren't really 15-minute long takes because there's blends, but it looks like, and you're just seeing Chris Hemsworth go through 25 guys, and you feeling his fatigue and how tired he is and stuff. Because I don't know if you've ever been in like a real fight, but like you get tired real damn fast when you're struggling against somebody else, man. It happens quick. Those are great. The Extraction movies 1 and 2 are really fun, and they're not like, there's like just enough story in those movies to like justify the action you're seeing. Like they don't really get, there's an understanding, right? It's like, look, and I think they're directed by the guy who was Captain America stand-in fighter guy for the Marvel films and stuff. That guy's gone on to become a filmmaker too. And like him and the John Wick guys and stuff, it's neat seeing all these people like step, you know, behind a camera now, and they know the fighting styles so well. They know stunt shooting so well that instead of just directing a second unit, now they're people are giving them whole franchises.
They're definitely like, what's the guy that did the John Wick? Chris something, I think.
Yeah,
his name is. I think, to be honest with you, I think the action genre is coming back in a big way. I think it's almost going to have a new revival, kind of like how horror went through its transition, and it was, people think it's dead, but then it gets revived with something good. I feel like it's the same thing, man.
I swear that's just something that people who write articles like media articles about the genre because what else are they
dead.
going to say? Like, because it's not interesting to say, hey, this other movie came out and it's really a lot of fun. You should watch it. Like there has to be some kind of conflict or twist or something like that. Like,
But I haven't seen anything in my opinion, I haven't seen anything that I was really drawn to when I was younger, like I was with the blood sport and the kickboxer and things like that, other than like Jason Bourne. I love those when those
yeah.
came out. I like the John Wick. I'm not like super like big John, like I love John Wick. Matrix did a kind of a cool job with bringing something in, but there wasn't nothing like that when Arnold and Stallone and Van Damme
Yes.
were all going. I felt neck and neck. They were almost like they were trying to one up each other on everything, you know.
It was a neat time. I was like, in grade school when all those movies were coming out, and a lot of them were R-rated, and so we were watching them on HBO when parents weren't around and renting them and stuff. And it was fun. I mean, I remember going to. I didn't see it in theaters, but I remember when Conan the Barbarian came out
Okay.
and wanting to see it. And my mom took one look at that poster with him and Sandal Bergman. And she's like, "You're not seeing this movie. What are you talking? You're like 7." But I ended up seeing it. Obviously, and I do love that movie. But yeah, no, it was like a heyday for the action, and it was really like because there were like I mean, John Ford had been doing westerns for decades, obviously, and there had been like the '70s style action movies and stuff. But the '80s introduced this like purity into this genre, right? Where like the Commando is really just about a dude with guns and fighting and that there was again they dispensed with a lot of things. But then even like in the '80s, you get a movie like Predator, which is really an action movie and a horror movie mashed together, and you get what's neat is you get to set up how intimidating and powerful these human guys are who are going into the jungle and doing all this stuff like that. And then when you see them start getting taken out one by one, you're like, you're only as the movie's only exciting as the amount of threat there is to your hero. And when you see this creature that is able to take out these guys like they're nothing, you're going like, wow, this is something that's really like worth watching, contending with and stuff. Yeah, man. So yeah, it's a great
What
thing.
would you think about the one that Robert Rodriguez wrote? I think it was oh shoot, it was Predator.
Predators.
Yeah, Predators, man. What'd you think about that?
First of all, it's like an amazing cast, right? It's like Adrian Brody and Lawrence Fishburne's in it, and Danny Trejo's in it for a minute, I think, and some other. Of course Danny Trejo's in it. It's a Robert Rodriguez film. It's like Oliver Megaton, I think, directed that. I thought that was actually a great movie. That's just fun. I mean, for some reason, like the Predator thing seems to be where, and I saw Prey on Hulu when it came out, and I thought Prey was fantastic. Where
I haven't seen
it
that
goes back to the Native American times.
Oh, okay.
And there's a young female Native American tribe member who the Predator takes out all her people, and she has to contend with this. And it's this, upping the game of like now she doesn't have guns or anything like that. She has a bow and arrow. She has, I mean, how hard, she's a dog. Like how hard is this and stuff? So,
is that a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie. It wasn't released in theaters. I think it came out on Hulu.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
I think it might be on Amazon Prime now as well, or something like that. It might be on like another streaming service you can watch things like that. That's a fantastic film, and it's like, you've got to be able to figure out how this 120, 110 pound female adolescent with a bow and arrow actually manages to survive,